Hey guys, welcome back. I had a few people asking me, hey, Rattle, can you elaborate what was going on with those communications you had with that company that is going to scan booster packs, booster boxes, all of that sort. What's going on there? They reached out to you, they wanted to partner? Well, apparently they want to partner with even more people, but they don't like the way that I would partner. I got a little bit of an angry email. We'll take a look at that, all the emails. We'll take a look at all the information, what my thoughts are on the entire thing, the fact that they flipped and flopped. Way too hard for my liking, and why I was on board, not on board, the whole process. Let's get through it. So, if you missed them, I have a few videos at this point on CT scanning products. These guys reached out to me, said, "Hey Rattle, would you like to partner? Would you like to do a collaboration? We want to, set the record straight." And I do think it's most important in all of these cases, even though, maybe some of the bad guys didn't think of this. It's important that if there are pitfalls, if there are dangers out there, that everyone can be aware of them. Now, this is another danger. This is another pitfall. Vintage, expensive product of any kind is already dangerous. You got reseals, you got mapping, you got all kinds of sketchy shit that you have to look out for. And now you have one more thing that you have to look out for. Now, is this going to get to the point that pack weighing at one point in time, I guess people pretended that that things were actually unweighed. Short of them like coming out of a sealed booster box, you should assume that any expensive pack, any vintage pack, is weighed. If they're saying it's not weighed, it's light, essentially. Light meaning that it doesn't have a holo, that it doesn't have a hit in it. Now, the market's going to be fine. The market will adjust. Is this going to completely flip sealed product on its head? Sure. Do you need to make sure, if you're one of the people that are like panicking, oh my God, my modern sealed product, it's all screwed in the butt. I've told you a million times, make sure you're buying it from somewhere reputable. If you're not opening it, especially the Japanese product that doesn't have the balls on the wrap, be very careful. Know where you're buying it from. Keep a record of where you bought it from so you can tell people, hey, I'm the original owner of this. Does it make transactions down the road harder? Absolutely. Does everything need to be logged? Yes. Should it be anyway? Probably. It's easy enough to do so. If you go to Troll and Toad and you use code Rattle5 to save 5% on your booster box, guess what? Keep that receipt. You can tell people, I got it from Troll and Toad when it was $100. The odds of this thing being tampered with before that, non-existent. Because if they charge a couple $100, you're not going to spend $200 to scan a $100 booster box. So you're fine on that. Vintage stuff is already scary. It's only more scary now. So, update. They have an update here. We're going to read through a lot of this stuff. My apologies. It's going to be long-winded, but to exit if you need to. We got update 7/28/24. We are diligently reviewing social media and the feedback we receive. Client trust is paramount. Well, I already don't trust these guys. It's up to you if you want to trust them or not. But with the information that they withheld from me, the information that they gave, and then it flops out, comes around, and all of a sudden they're doing the complete opposite of what they were saying. To me, that's not exactly trust-inducing. And yes, they sent me an angry email. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at all the emails back and forth between myself and them. We're going to give you a little bit of information here. Be careful. If you see people pumping this stuff, personally, I would not ever in a million years. I don't care if they give me code Rattle69 for 69% off. Fuck it. No, I don't want anything to do with it. I know this is going to happen regardless. I just don't like it. I think it's yucky. I think it's a shady part, and it's an overall negative for the hobby. And even though it's going to happen, and it's best if everyone just kind of assumes that it's happened on anything that's expensive, I don't want to be part of that. That's not for me. No, thank you. Client trust is paramount. We are working to implement additional security and streamline processes. Because this is a brand new service offering, we are collaborating with the community to overcome unique challenges. So the only way they're going to let on, they're going to do a workaround. They're going to say, "Oh yeah, but if all the rich bad guys are doing it, so now we're making everyone do it. You can be a rich bad guy now." So the only way that this, I think, works itself out, the only way that this kind of makes sense, is you'd have to put something on the product itself that cannot be removed, essentially. You would have to essentially ruin the sealed product in some aspects and put something on it, whether it's a sticker, tamper-proof sticker that is gone there and is not coming off without damaging the product, damaging the shrink wrap, whatever it is, and it indicates this has been scanned. Here's the contents. Go to www.what'sinsidethebox.com. Maybe don't go to that website. I don't know what it is. It sounds sketchy, and I shouldn't have said it. Now, some immediate actions. Action items include repeatability studies showing the variability of scan data. So once they got this tuned in, I mean, the prices there are probably, it's hard to say if they're trying to attract new business that they're going to price it low, or if the prices are high because they don't know what they're doing yet and they're working it out so that they can streamline the process and make it quick. Try it before you buy it. Demo data for everyone to download. No thanks. Tracking procedures. It is a tough problem since we cannot tarnish someone's product and the client may not want their product slapped. We are currently considering it unique QR codes a client could seal within. So, no. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you put it in an acrylic case with tamper-proof things on it, because as soon as someone removes it from that case, it's no longer CT scanned. There's no tracing it. People seem to have the misconception that you can just, I'll just see if there's any radioactivity. I'll get my Geiger counter out. You can't do that. The amount of radiation that's actually used is very slim, very small amount. So no, you can't. You're not going to be able to. It's not. It's not like nuclear fallout where we can determine whether it's been scanned or not. Tamper-proof bags. So tamper-proof bags don't matter because if it's got nothing in it, people have no reason to keep it in the bag. If it's going to be more valuable, like if let's just say there's a first edition base box. Let's use Evolving Skies. Let's pretend that Evolving Skies, you worked out the numbers. It's profitable to do this with all your Evolving Skies booster boxes. They're $1,000 and it costs, let's say, $100, $200 to scan it and find out what's inside. No big hit, no evolution altar, nothing in the box that is worth more than the box. Then you crack it out, or you pull it out of the bag, or whatever it is, and you sell it as a loose box, an unscanned box. That's the scam that's going to happen. That's the scam that this is permitting to happen on a wider scale than just the people that have access or found a way to get access to this stuff. So no, it's not helping anything. This is not. They're going to pretend they're helping. They're going to pretend, but it's not. And that's where it comes in. The more accessible, the more easy this is to access, the more you have to be careful. They're lying, whether they're lying or whether they're just, fluffing it, or maybe they just don't know or don't realize, because it seems like there's a lot that they don't realize here, is the fact that they're just making it a more widely accessible scam. Because why wouldn't you take your stuff? Like, I crack cards out of graded cases all the time. Because if I can get a good deal on that graded case, no one would know that it was graded at one point. The grading companies don't even keep a record of the images of the cards themselves, because we've seen countless times where cards are altered. And if they had a record of the cards, especially the vintage sports stuff that has stains on it, they would be able to easily identify, like, hey, someone sent this card in 25 times. And it wouldn't get a different grade the next time. It wouldn't get a better grade. Or if it was altered, they would reject it. We would scan the QR code for file naming, acquiring data through these bags, and product would never be opened by us. If you have a scalable idea for this, please let me know. So I guess I am sharing ideas in this point in time, but the only way to make this an actual, like, the thing that they're claiming that it's like supposed to be accessible and it's supposed to be like, they're helping people prevent the scams so that they don't get scammed by the rich people or the people that have access to a scanner of their own that they got in a garage and fixed up for $1,500. So that you would have to have something on the product itself, tamper resistant sticker, super duper glued to the package, that you have to destroy the package in order to remove it. Essentially, that's the only answer. That's what I'm coming up with here. People are not going to like that, but that's kind of what it is. That would be like the responsible thing for them to do. If you want to scan something, it's going to be marked as scanned forever. And all beyond. Recognizing that we are in an unknown party in this space, we are looking for a community representative. I do not want to be that representative. I feel for the person that decides that they want to be. I did want to partner with them at one point in time, as we'll see with the emails that we're going to get through here, but not to sell this as a service. I wanted to partner with them in order to discover whether it was possible so that people could be warned, people could be on the lookout, people could be careful with their purchases if they need to. To partner with to ensure the community's best interest is prioritized with the service. Well, there you go. You don't need to pay me. You don't need to do anything of the sort. You do not need to partner with me. If you want to make this sure, you want to make sure it's in the best interest of the community, put a sticker on it that doesn't come off. Tamper-proof sticker on the package. Yes, it ruins the package for some people, but there you go. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be complaining, though. If you have a first edition base set pack and they put a sticker on it that you can't remove, and it indicates that there's a Charizard inside it, that's sick. The only time anyone's going to be mad about that is if it doesn't have anything in it and they want to deceive people, right? That's kind of my thoughts on it. All right. For now, we will record all package openings and serialization to demonstrate our handling and product management process. All right, sure you will. So I don't think these guys are necessarily going to swap out your pack. I don't think these guys are going to like steal your box or pretend it's missing or something like that if it's got something cool in it. I don't think that's their aim here. But I do think that they're being deceptive in the way that they were reaching out to people initially. And I do think it was, them just coming out and saying, like, just be upfront and honest with what you're doing. At no point did they swing it around until all of a sudden, what? It's a service now. So again, if you're going to reach out to me, that's my expectation, is you're going to be upfront and honest with me. If it changed at any point in time, that should have been in the emails and indicated as such, because when they send me this, when they put this comment on my video, which apparently they did to many YouTubers, I guess anyone that would have been covering it, to any sizable audience, they say, we'd be happy to collaborate with you and try some sports, MTG, or other cards. This way you have public record of what is or is not possible. Great. Yeah, I think that's I'm on board. Get me on. I'm on board. I want to see that so that I can show people this is what you can or cannot do. I do not want to be an advertising vehicle for this stuff because I think it's gross. I think it sucks. I think it's unfortunate that it comes to this. The same with many other aspects of the hobby that just don't need to exist. The gambling crap, the weighing, the searching, the friggin' gambling, the gambling games on whatnot that end up being rigged. There's a ton of stuff that just you do not need in order to enjoy the hobby. Unfortunately, people are addicted to gambling, are maybe the most vulnerable or susceptible to gambling and everything else. And it allows for bad actors to do bad things. The same way this kind of allows bad actors to do bad things. They're allowing more bad actors to do more bad things. But they're going to frame it as, we're the good guys here. For instance, aren't there signed and packaged baseball cards? We could definitely characterize the indentation of a signature. Someone also suggested trying scratch-offs. I don't know if I don't think scratch-offs would work. They didn't show anything like that. You might want to be careful there. You might get yourself in trouble. We did not realize this to profit. We did not release this to profit off card readings. This is not our expertise. So at what point? At what point? And why didn't you make it clear to me in our communication? Again, you reached out to me to partner on this. Had you said, hey, we're looking to profit off this, I would have just said no. I would not have sent an email. You're saying you're not looking to profit, but then you do the complete opposite. We do industrial work that our equipment is designed for. We did this just because it was an interesting case study and does a good job demonstrating the sensitivity of our equipment. Again, fluff, 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 fluff. Clearly there was some intention to profit off of it. They're like super, super horny that they're getting attention for this, that they're potentially going to make money off of this. And again, in order for them to do it in a responsible way, they're probably going to get less business. Our equipment is a smidge different than an eBay scanner and produces exceptional data, but with the cost to match. So that doesn't really matter. Again, they're saying that it's too expensive for them to do it, but clearly it's not if they can charge $65 to $75 a pack. The hourly rates to run the equipment wouldn't be worth someone scanning their packs, even if we found a very rare card. Bullshit. You think $65, $75? And that's with all your overhead probably incorporated into it, is not worth scanning a $10,000 pack of Pokemon cards. A heavy base set first edition. I mean, that's like the easiest thing to look up is what's the most expensive card? What's the most expensive card you can pull from a pack? And how expensive is that pack? $65 on 10 grand. I don't know if they're 10 grand right now. They're probably 10 grand, around that. For a heavy? Let me know down below. I'm not looking it up. Similar applications include looking at packaging like contact lenses or consumable pouches for adhesion issues, scanning EV battery cells for foil tears, and so on. So I reached out. I think this is good. I think if they want to, my reaching out was largely to do with the fact that I want to know what is the high end. What's going on here? Like, what's the worst case scenario? Can these guys look through an entire booster box and find out if the hit is in there without opening the box, maybe without opening a case, any of that stuff? What's detectable? We've kind of seen already at this point in time, they can see texture. So Modern, when it's enough money, is very susceptible, very viable for this stuff. If they can easily determine that there's the Blastoise's outline on it, etc. And then the thing with that is also in realms of like Magic with the serialized stuff, that's all going to show up very easily. All the signature stuff, all the patches and the sports stuff, all of that is just absolutely boned. The more distinguishable a card is, the more easily this is going to detect that it's in there, the more exploitable it's going to be. Now, when you have, and believe me when I say I don't want to talk about OKJ Love, I don't like them. I don't think that's a secret at this point in time. I just don't like fake people. And yes, the majority of the people that are making Pokemon YouTube videos are very fake. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, and this guy is no exception to that. This is the same guy that's going to be like, Rattle Pokemon, I'm your biggest fan. Can we totally hang out and do some stuff? I got a lot of that. With the Logan Paul fake G.I. Joe case stuff, I had everyone and their dog S in my D. No different with this. When you see people, when you've been around these people, this space for enough time, you learn that almost everyone is fake. Yes, even the people that are going to pretend that, oh, well, I'll say anything. I'm the realist dealist that's going around. I'm inappropriate and I can do whatever I want and I'll say whatever I want. A lot of those people are also fake. I don't understand it. Well, I do understand it. When you're in a space that you greatly benefit from telling people what they want to hear, unfortunately, you're going to get almost everyone saying what people want to hear. Now, they might pretend that they're going to tell you how it is no matter what, but they're full of shit. I'm going to tell you how it is no matter what. It's going to be my opinion, so you can agree or disagree with it. It's fine to disagree with people. I have nothing against anyone that all of my friends, there isn't a person on earth that I don't disagree with on something. And that's fine. People got to realize that, hey, that's fine. But at the same time, I guess if you're just trying to maximize, you're trying to get the most views, you're trying to get the most likes, you're trying to get everyone on your side, you're going to frame stuff. You're only going to pick on people when it's, beneficial to you, or maybe you're going to only cover the content that isn't a danger to yourself. Safe opinion, like the Blake stuff. Blake stuff is like, oh, guys, it's safe. It's safe, guys. We can say Blake is a scammer. Let's make videos about it. We can capitalize on this stuff. And then where are they? Where the fuck are they? People fucked over constantly and will continue to be, and every fucking crickets. Anyway, back to the point of the video here. J-Love ended up being the YouTuber that's going to be mentioned in the emails between myself and the company. And yes, now we're picking on J-Love a little bit here, but believe me, there are many other fakey wakey people in the space. Now, the problem with this is it looks like an ad. This comes off entirely as an ad. His video, I had to watch it. I did not want to watch it, but I wanted to make sure I watched it before making this video because it's only fair, right? The video comes off as an ad. He's advertising the price. It's basically everything except for hashtag ad on there. When you start off with, you can pay to CT scan your Pokemon booster box now, just 75 USD. It's got the video, and then he's got a link to their website right under that in the next thing. He didn't put the link probably in the initial one because according to theories, well, I don't know if it's really a theory or a pretty known thing, that Twitter does not like when you put links in the tweet. It would much rather you keep people on the platform. That's the same thing with most social media. So no links, even though he's got to put his video in there to advertise the video. Partnered with them. So the problem I have with this, everyone's gonna have their own opinion on this, whether or not it's good, whether or not it's bad. I don't think it's good to make it widely adopted without some sort of measure that prevents people from doing the bad that comes along with it. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, so someone can scam Someone has the ability to scam. So we're going to counter it with giving everyone the ability to scam is kind of how I see it. But when you're making posts like this, when he's making the video like the way he made the video, that's the problem I have with the company is the fact that they were not upfront and honest with what they were doing, what their intention was. And even if that flipped, they never showed that in any way until all of a sudden they come out with it. And again, it's not like I'm like reaching out to them and, oh, please work with me. Like they were in the comment section. They replied. I was in communication in a very timely manner. And they just kind of flop on everything. And at no point are they like, oh yeah, we changed our business strategy. Do you still want to work with us? We're now going to be selling it as a service. We realized it's profitable. I mean, it probably didn't take them very long to realize that. I mean, I could have called that out from the beginning. I probably even mentioned it in my video. So I don't like this. I don't like the fact that this is advertising. And again, I couldn't tell you what J Love's actual take is on most things because he flips and flops depending on what people want to hear. So from what I can gather, he's one of the like investing is stupid. You deserve to get screwed if you're investing in Pokemon. The cards are meant to be for players, that kind of mentality. I think that's a bad mentality, even if you're a player. I think you should be expecting, you should be grateful that these cards retain value, even if you're building decks. Even if you're opening some product to build decks, you have some hits, maybe you play with them, maybe you don't play with them, maybe you trade them off. You want those to have value, right? So you can trade them off for the playable cards. Not only that, but you're sinking. A player that is sinking money into cards, building new decks, building multiple decks to play against each other. If you're doing it on a competitive level or to anything more than just like the base entry enthusiast that builds one deck, you should be very grateful that these things go up in price. Even if you don't want to keep them if they're expensive. You can sell them off. You can fund more cards, more playable cards, that sort of thing. So a lot of they're just cardboard for players. That mentality is not only harmful or not only like a bad take on the collectible end of things, because the collectible end of things is kind of the main point of Pokemon. Like, yes, there is the game. The game is very enjoyable. Everyone should try it at some point. If you're collecting, if you're really into Pokemon, you should try the game. But the vast majority of these cards, and that's the thing too, the vast majority of these cards are being opened by people, by kids, by whoever that's just picking them up at Walmart. They're going to get some groceries. They're going to get whatever they got to get at Walmart. They grab a Pokemon pack. Little Timmy has Mommy Timmy bring, oh, can I have this big box that's got like a jillion pounds of packaging with 6 packs in it? Yes, Timmy. Happy birthday. That's if he's lucky and he doesn't get fake stuff. So just in case anyone needs an example here, we have OK J Love being that, again, this is not just a J Love problem. This is an all around YouTuber, specifically in this case, Pokatuber kind of issue where they're just going to tell you whatever you want to hear. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have people that don't like me for that, but whatever. I'd rather be honest with myself. I'd rather be honest with the people that are watching this. But here we have advice within 1 minute of each other where J Love is telling people to ignore the haters and then saying you shouldn't ignore the haters. Like, dude, you just have a take, have a spine. Now, let's get into the emails here with the old company. I know we're getting a little juicy, we're getting a little drama filled, but I want to give you guys my perspective, my honest and open perspective on what's going on here and why I would not want to work with this company. Why I did, why I chose not to. Why I choose to no longer. I don't give a shit if they scam my shit for free. I don't want to send them anything. I don't like them. To each their own. You like them. Anyone wants to like them, go ahead. So 6 days ago, we have me reaching out after that nice little tidbit that they left on my video, and apparently many others. I say hi. I had someone reach out on my YouTube video and would like to discuss some potential scans for video content. Is it best if I send you the samples directly, and is it possible to have them returned to me once you're done? I'd like to see if specific modern booster boxes can be scanned all the way through with Pokemon, Sports, Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh! But can include chase card examples in case there aren't any in the specific box. Individual videos for each category is probably best for reach. I'm in talks with some journalists about it so they can also get some extra eyes on your expertise. So, extra eyes. I'd love to give them extra eyes. I mean, they got many eyes at this point, and maybe that's where their wallets. They were looking down at their wallets. Apparently, it's doable. It's doable, guys. Who would have thought? So yes, for the safety, for the overall knowledge, I want to make sure everybody is knowledgeable. I hate this. I hate the fact that this stuff can be exploited. I hate the fact that it exists, and it kind of ruins it in a way. I mean, and it impacts me very little, but the overall, it impacts me very little because I'm not buying vintage sealed product. But anyone that is now needs to be extra careful. And I hate that. I hate that for them. I hate that for the overall state of the hobby itself. I think it sucks. It's a thing. We're going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to push through it. We're going to have to be extra careful. But the people that are providing the service, if it's going to be a service that's trusted, needs to make sure that they're preventing scams. The same way with the grading companies, the same way I'm going to hold them accountable for when there's fake signatures, when there's fake first edition stamps, when they're grading fake cards, when they're grading cards that they shouldn't grade because the story behind the card is coming from somebody that has copies of the cards and tells different stories to different people. Proto stories. It's a lot. I want to see the companies that are essentially extracting money from the hobby. You're a grading company. Guess what? You offering to put stuff in plastic and charging money for it is extracting money from the hobby. So you need to be doing right by the hobby. When there's issues with the cards, that you encapsulated, when there's a first edition base Charizard in 10 that's clearly got the bottom of it lopped off, and you haven't canceled the cert, and you haven't seemingly got the card back and compensated the individual that purchased it, all of that stuff. So yes, mistakes can be made, whether it's these guys, whether it's grading companies, but I want to see if they're going to be charging fees that otherwise could have been spent on actual Pokemon cards. Like anytime you're spending $10, $20 on grading, you could have bought another card. And we see so many, man, people do not want to hear it. Talk about things that people don't want to hear and stuff that I shouldn't tell people. I will straight up tell you, I don't grade my cards. I don't see the value in it. I totally understand if you want to grade your cards. But I am also going to tell you, when you grade something that's 30 cents and it's in played condition, that you shouldn't be spending that $10, $20. You just wasted $10 to $20. It did not make it more valuable. It's the biggest pitfall for noobs that entered the hobby. And outside of, yes, the mystery boxes that are just abusing the shit out of the fact that like people just want graded cards when they're new because they don't understand. Please, if you know anyone that's new to the hobby, teach them. Teach them, hey, don't fucking send that base set Rattata it's bent in half. Do not send it to, I don't give a shit if there's a $7 special and it's come back from the past. You do not spend the $7 on that card. It is not worth it. Please don't. Now, grading rant over. Next email. They get back to me. Keith says, "Hi Mike, thanks for the email. Yes, we'd like to work with you to evaluate all these different products. Just an FYI, we've been reached out to by several YouTubers, journalists, and collectors to do the same thing. The faster we can move, the better. Let me know how you'd like to proceed." So they get very slow with the responses. They, at no point in time here, when I'm asking to work with them, mention the fact that they are now going to be selling it. And the fact that they've reached out to by several YouTubers, is largely to do with the fact that they were spamming the same message on other people's. Copy paste or very close to the same thing where they're like, oh, we're just trying to study it. It's a cool case study. We want to see if it's possible, but it's not financially possible. We're too expensive for that. And then all of a sudden they got a site popping up with $65. Was it incompetence to some level? Maybe. At some point in time here, when I'm talking to them, they should probably have a pretty good idea. So my intention is I want to show everyone, hey, this is possible. Hey, this isn't possible. You need to be on the lookout for this. If you're buying expensive stuff, this is one more pitfall that you're going to have to worry about. So I say, hi, Keith. Okay, I have some questions and can get some stuff sent over to you ASAP. Shouldn't take long to get you a Pokemon booster box or two, and I can make a video quickly with access to the results. I'll be able to easily match the textured hits with the scans if they look anything like the Blastoise. Some questions that will help me choose the best items. Is it possible to scan through 18 packs of 11 cards on top of each other and still see textures, ink obstructing areas of foil? Can a photo album of each card / layer be produced? That way we can go through and identify everything. Will a Sharpie signature on a sports card show up? Details on what would cost to have the scans done. Time it takes. What could or could not be achieved with lesser equipment. All great information for the videos. This is information that would be greater information for everyone to have so they can be weary of this. Again, it's not going to, everything is not scanned. Your Battle Styles box ETB from Walmart that you just picked up is not scanned. When it starts getting into the like $1,000 booster box range, depending on how much they charge for it, which they seemingly don't even know how much they're going to charge for it at this point. If they can wind that down, make it quick, and you can send in cases of that stuff, that's dangerous. That's scary. And if they're not transparent with it, if they can't even provide me with information and a reply to an email that like, oh yeah, by the way, we're selling this stuff now. So I'm asking about like the cost of operation and everything like that, because I want to know, is this out of the reach, out of the realm of like reality here? Or does it make sense on the expensive products that now I have to warn people about? If you need additional information for any articles you're looking to publish, I don't mind helping with that. I'll get the Pokemon stuff out first and make some decisions on the rest to get it over to you soon. So again, this is me. I'm completely under the impression that this is not something that's not a business venture. This is just kind of an independent study. They want to show off their stuff. Maybe they get some views from somebody that's in the industry or somebody that has some application that makes sense financially to do through this. And we can reap the benefits of knowing what is dangerous or not. It turns out it's all dangerous. Well, not all of it, but anything that's expensive. Shipping information and attention to you on parcels. Most of the items will be mine, but please be somewhat careful with them, especially loose cards, since those could be somewhat expensive. So I was going to send like a serialized Magic card. I mean, it's very clear that that's going to show up on a scan regardless. And that is dangerous because we had products like the One Ring where you had it supposedly sell for $2 million to Post Malone. The One Ring with the serialized 1 of 1. That's scary. When people can go through those boxes, pull the serialized cards out, and make money on, again, you get that $2 million card, you're not necessarily going to get it. There's still some gamble, and there's some doing the math to make sure that like you're keeping the good boxes and you dump the bad boxes on other people. But that's an extreme example of like where stuff is going and where it could be very dangerous. The new products that are coming out, even in Pokemon, there's no serialization. I hope there never is. I think it's a crutch that a trading card company would have to lean on when they need like just like a false sense of scarcity or rarity or whatever. I hope it doesn't come to that. But even now with the chase cards where you have like a Moonbreon, where you have stuff that's like 1 in 2,000 packs or 1 in 3,000 packs, like that stuff gets expensive. It ends up being a popular Pokemon. It ends up being short printed. It ends up being whatever it's got to be. And it gets very easily into a scary place where it's viable. Next, I say hi, just following up. And again, this is, we had 6, so like 3 more days pass and no response. I say hi, just following up. Can you please get back to me on at least the shipping instructions and confirmation on the general plan? Rest of the information is important, but want to get the product over to you ASAP to get things started. Thanks, Mike. Again, no mention at any point here that they're selling this shit. Otherwise, I would not have wasted my time. Keith says, hi, Mike. We are working with another YouTuber on some content to showcase what is and is not possible. If you'd like to work together, we'd be happy to scan some product. Let me know. No. So at this point, I don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden they publish an article with here's the prices, here's everything else. Surprise, surprise. I asked them who they're working with. Who else are you working with? Pokemon related and or something similar. I can still send some Pokemon product, but details would be nice so that there isn't too much overlap. So not only have these guys kind of pissed me off with the fact that they flipped and flopped and decided, hey, we're going to be selling this shit when they clearly indicated they wouldn't be, but they also just wasted my fucking time. Yes, I provided them with information that they could probably use. Again, this was all under like a false or temporarily false pretense. At some point, they like you didn't just magically appear with prices all over the site. Like there was some decision making that was going on here, and like you reached out to me. If you're gonna reach out to me and waste my fucking time, not only that, you're gonna waste my time, and then you're going to flip and flop on the initial statement that you made. Like That's grimy. That's pretty fucking gross. And so yes, they were upset with the last video that I made, where we have Mr. Keith here, who says, "Hey Mike, just checking in about your video. I'd like to clear some air here and understand your takes about us being grimy and deceitful. You made a statement. You did the complete opposite. You didn't tell me that it was that at any point in time. You reached out saying you wanted a partner. You wanted information. You wanted to find out what I would send, what I could do. And you just kind of fucking led me on. And had you just been honest at any point throughout that entire chain of emails and just said, hey, we're selling this shit, I would have just dropped it entirely. So that's why I think it's grimy and deceitful. I think that's pretty fair. I mean, people can form their own opinions. They're welcome to do so. But I think that whether it was incompetence or whether it was intentionally kind of hiding information, or, I mean, grimy and deceitful, reaching out to multiple people and then just kind of picking and choosing, that's grimy and deceitful. But also flipping and flopping on, hey, we're not charging for this. We just want to do a study. We're interested in seeing what's possible. And sort of my impression and my intention going into it is like, hey, I want to warn people. This is potentially bad things that can happen. This is maybe outside of the scope of what can happen on certain products, but on others, you got to be careful. Maybe the most expensive stuff, you need to be careful, because we've seen it's been used with the flawless cases in sports. So yes, we made a comment on the original video that it wasn't feasible. And then we met as a team, pivoted, and found a way. You're fine to have your opinion, but things change. When there is incentive, we will try a little harder. What? Okay, so just tell me that at any point. I probably put 60 hours of time into this concept and content, late nights, lots of calls, conversation with lawyer, etc. Sick. And you fucking wasted my time. So I don't give a shit. It's a business. If you want to sink time and effort into it, great. But don't fucking lead me on with the fact that you're not going to be selling this shit and that you want to work with me on it and then fucking flip around. You don't really want to, you just wanted to work with whoever. You wanted to pick and choose. And then also the fact that you're selling the shit. And now you have fucking J-Love and probably God knows who else who's going to fucking pump this shit and say like, oh, look, you can totally scan your stuff for $65. I would feel extremely, I would never receive any sort of payment for this stuff. If they wanted to work with me and they were trying to do like a public warning kind of thing, sure, I'm all on board. As soon as they would have mentioned anything to do with the fact that they're selling this shit, I'm out. See ya. I get it. It's going to happen regardless. A lot of people are going to use that as a justification for why they're pumping it. If they have sponsors or their community partners or whatever the fuck they want. Nummy. I'm out. Get out of here. If you'd like to scan some product for additional content, we would still be happy to work with you. However, it's hard to work with someone who presents this information with such a negative/pessimistic tone. So, no, I refuse to work with you. I don't want to. I saw the way that you treated me, so I can only imagine how you're going to treat your customers. I saw that you were deceitful in not only the comments, but also to the people that you reached out to. I'm sure at some point in time, the people that you worked with more, your OK J-Love, you probably told him at some point in time that it was a business. Maybe he was pumping you some ideas. I don't know whether or not he's been paid for it or plans on being paid for it. But the way that he's posting stuff, it looks like an ad. I have no problem with people making money, promoting things, but they better be upfront and honest. I don't personally want to promote anything like this, even if it's going to happen, even if it's no matter what I do, no matter how many videos I make. It's going to happen, but I don't like when people are pumping something when they have financial interest. And yes, it's the same thing with the tag grading shit, where people are pumping it and then they're like, oh yeah, but I don't even have any stake in the company, but they plan on investing into the company. It's the same thing. Just be upfront and if you believe in something, if you like something, promote it. Go ahead. People will have to make money, but if you're upfront and honest about it, that's fine. Like you guys using the link tree, going to Card Market. There's not even any requirement by Card Market. Love that sponsorship. Love buying from them. I mean, you gotta use a middleman if you're not from Europe, but love getting stuff there. You're trolling toads and all the stuff that I use. Like I'm gonna promote that stuff because it's stuff that I believe in, stuff that I use, stuff that I think is good purchasing decisions for people that are in the hobby. I'm going to tell you not to buy from Razzle Dazzlers on Facebook. I'm going to tell you not to buy from people on Whatnot. I just don't like this. This is not on brand. This is not something that I ever want to work with. But it's important to point out here that you can have your own opinion, at least according to the end of this email here, where he says, however, it's hard to work with someone who presents this information with such a negative/pessimistic tone. Indicates that if you're not going to pump their stuff, if you have an opinion that this is a negative thing for the hobby, then you can't work with them. So just keep that in mind when there's people pumping this stuff. They may or may not have their own opinion. I think that's the most important takeaway of the video here. Thanks for tuning in. If you watched the entire thing, you're the best. Stay safe out there. Hopefully we can work through this, and hopefully it doesn't do too much damage to the hobby itself. But just be wary. Just be wary of whatever somebody's speaking to you, whether it's me or whether it's someone else. Who knows? Am I telling you the truth right now? Am I doing the right thing? See you next time. Join the Discord. Bye.